Close again. We walk the footsteps of our fathers, trail blessed by our mothers. They bought the land with their blood long ago. Long ago. Oh, sing on Netherland. Oh, weep for the Leigh-A. Oh, cry for Netherland. Long ago. Long ago.
Hey, everybody.
Hey!
Welcome to
I
Three
love that
Foot Talk.
song so much.
I know. I've been thinking about that song. Has been stuck in my head all day.
Take
All
that,
day.
Hills of Tanchico.
Honestly, like Hills of Tanchico, amazing and really,
Banger.
great banger of a song. But last week, that was not stuck in my head. Like this is stuck in my head this week. I was just like, So, yeah, still makes you tear up. Makes me tear up. Yes, we are starting with tears tonight. You are right. So, yeah. Do you know what? That's true. It really. I've just taken a nap, and it was in my head. So, yeah. Oh, sing for 3 Foot Talk.
Oh, were you having a dream from which you must wake?
Yeah, I was. So, I had to get up and do this, which I wanted to be here for. So, okay. Welcome everybody to 3 Foot Talk.
Everyone,
Hi!
How is everyone's emotions? Put them in chat. Let us know if you were singing, humming, what all this was. Just the three of us tonight so far. Leigh-A was getting stabbed in the head by a migraine, so she took a nap. Hopefully she feels better. She may turn up, she may not. Yeah. Did Bane and Shia, did everyone enjoy my episode?
it was very good.
I really loved the Bane and Chiad parts of this episode. I mean, if I'm honest, like, I say this every week, but like, every episode's my new favorite episode. This is my new favorite episode.
We got so much hand talk. So much hand talk.
So much for us to like figure out. What I love is there was hand talk that we didn't know what it is, but I think we can figure it out, and we will figure it out.
Did you have captions?
No, there were some that did not have captions.
Oh,
there are some that don't have captions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I particularly liked. What did they say? Fucking Wetlander.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, even their shadow sword are cowards.
Yeah,
because they were looking at them bringing in more.
I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it.
I am low key claiming that right now as inspired by 3 Foot Talk, the fucking Wetlanders bit.
Or Alyssa.
Us and Alyssa, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But we're the ones that play a lot because we're
Wetlanders.
So let's be clear. Wait, I lost that chat comment. Where is it? Kevin said you have to learn hand talk for fuck. But we do know that.
Yeah.
Because it's this movement. So you have to do this and then you have to lick your pinky out, and that's the word for that's the adjective form of fucking. Yeah.
Bane and Chiad and 3 Foot Talk joint venture. Yes, this is so true. Yeah. Like, we should just start and just talk all Bane and Chiad for 5 minutes, I would say.
I mean, we could probably spend a lot of time talking about Bane and Chiad. I was really hoping to actually see more of their fighting.
Yeah,
That would have been
thinking,
great for us as well
like-
in the fantasy league, considering
Yeah, I
Bane was the
know.
only character.
yes, Bane
we're
is-
really gonna
Bane
have
is
to
ours.
beg for those points.
Yeah.
I think we can get them. I believe in us.
The problem is
They
for
were
every one
covered
of
in
those
blood.
for every one of those points they give us, they're going to give it to Chiad as well. And we don't have Chiad on our team. And I'm
That's
just
true.
like,
I honestly
Whoever-
think Chiad got more points than Bane.
I think Chiad got more points than Bane this
Mhm.
episode. Yeah.
Yeah. If you
So-
guys don't know, we're part of we're participating in the Wheel of Time Fantasy League. So, you have different characters that you've drawn, and Bane has been on our team since the beginning. Let's be
Yes.
clear.
We
Since-
tried to get them together because they are.
We tried to get both
one
of
person,
them. Yeah.
They were
But,
not having that. So
But yeah. She got us some points this week for sure. Man. They were fantastic.
they were.
They were everything that I wanted them to be for up to this point in this episode. They were just stellar. So funny. So honorable. And
Mhm.
just so entertained at the chance to dance to their death. I love
Yeah.
how joyfully they embraced death and how great of a companion they were to our dear friend.
Yeah, I love when the second wave of people came up to the Waygate and they were covered in blood, and so you knew they already fought off a bunch of other people that we didn't see.
Yeah,
And they're like, "All right, let's do this again." No
Yeah.
problem.
it's so good.
Yeah. And
Okay.
as Matthew's put in chat, the toe flip game was, so good. Because I mean, who else was super excited when Laura's like, "Let's play Maiden's Kiss"? Like,
I wasn't
Cool.
excited actually. At
I
first.
was
like,
I have to admit I was confused. I was like, something's wrong.
I was like,
something's-
now?
why is he choosing this? Like, what's this game?
and then in the middle of it, I thought he was doing it because you know how he was sick, from the longing. I
Oh,
thought he
no.
was like, because he wouldn't stop them from getting into his neck, and they're like, if we don't stop, we're gonna kill him. And I didn't realize obviously what he was doing, but I was like, is he trying to do that to himself? And I was like, that can't be right.
I called it after the first rejection kiss. I was like, oh no, you know what he's doing.
it took. I think it was before. Bane and she had realized, but it was after the second when Bane's like, when she has like, I'm. Don't worry, he'll play with me, and then he doesn't, and I was just like, dude's trying to get killed. I was like, oh, and then it kind of tweaked him in my head that they were doing that.
Yeah.
And the way they were just like, it's wrong to cheat me with my toe, and and then Bane comes in and is just like, I have an idea for sister.
The
But
light bulb moment was so
Yes.
good.
it was so cute.
I love that Chiad was just gonna walk. She was just like, I'm out.
You did not just do that to me, Loyal.
I thought you knew me better than that. Oh man, what a great trio they were
Oh
this
yeah.
season. Enjoyed everything they did with them so much. So much.
Yeah. They were chef's kiss. So.
I have to admit, I really wanted them to be the ones who were we had talked about this before, that I wanted them to be the ones who were training the women's circle how to use their
Me too.
spears.
Yeah.
I really wanted that moment, that reverse Chafail thing to happen. I thought that would be really cool, but because I mean, I guess I'm not quite sure where we're gonna get it, but I mean, we could still get it, but yeah, it feels fitting that since they've made so many other things that were ridiculous in the books, like kind of awesome, that they would somehow figure out how to make the Chafail kind of awesome.
I think
them
so,
being
yeah.
directly trained by Bane and Chiad would
I
be
think
really-
because they're all three together now, that there's going to be some shenanigans and Chafael happening next
Oh, yeah.
season.
Well,
Maybe
yeah.
even
Hints of
with
it
the help
happening.
of Bane and Chiad. You never know. Even though that would be kind of blasphemy, but whatever. I'll
I
go
mean,
with
it could be, but in the same, I see Bane and Shiad now potentially attaching themselves to Fail as opposed to, because obviously Loyal has woken from the dream.
Mhm.
They're like, this stage they could be like, right, well, we got to head home now. Like, we only came here because of our toe, and that's, obviously
what
the
do we do?
situation. They're that's not meetable anymore. So they could just say, right, we went home. But I see them, sticking around with Perrin and actually like Fail appealing to their nature, and then in the process, okay, Bane and Shiad saying that I think Bane and Shiad are Chafael. It's just going to be the three of them.
That works for me too.
Yeah, because they do love Fael. Like, she's impressed them.
Yeah, they're fans.
I mean, I love Fael.
Yeah, 100%. I was watching. Oh man, what's her name? Something
Isabella?
Meeks, Mighty Meeks,
Mighty Meeks,
Nerdy Meeks. Oh man, I forget. I'm gonna find her at. But she called Fael Battle Tinkerbell.
Battle Tinkerbell.
So good. It was so good. It's the only reaction I had a chance to watch briefly today in between meetings and stuff. But yeah, Battle Tinkerbell.
As a parent who's seen a lot of Tinkerbell cartoons when the maiden was young, I believe there were some Battle Tinkerbell cartoons, like where she wore different, like not just the Tinkerbell outfit. So,
Oh, yeah?
So maybe we could find that. Put Fail's face on it.
Manic Meeks. There we go.
Manic
Meeks. That's her YouTube.
Manic Meeks. Oh, yeah. Okay. Gnome Garden.
Thank you, Gnome Garden. Yeah. I found it at the exact same time. But yes, Manic Meeks. I love Battle Tinkerbell as a nickname. It's so good.
Yeah. Skeeter's coming and suggesting that Fael spends the next 3 seasons trying to rescue Perrin from the White Cloaks.
I really hope not.
Oh my god, that would be something.
That would be fantastic. I don't know. I don't think Fael would stand for him being. I feel like she rescues him like next episode. Like, she's not gonna let that fly. She's gonna figure it out. She's gonna like get everybody together, and they're just gonna rescue him like immediately. She's not gonna let him sit and wallow.
But he did ask them to respect his choice.
Yeah, she's not gonna.
Yeah, we'll see.
She's not gonna.
And she'd be like, I did. I allowed you to be taken. I didn't say I wouldn't come and rescue you. That feels like,
His choice was to allow himself to be arrested.
Yeah.
And her choice is to no longer allow him to be in their affair.
He chose he was like, violent. This is enough. No more violence. This is my choice. And she's like, good, I won't let you do violence, but I shall do violence on your behalf because I choose to do violence. But just get dressed and join us on the show. Not suggesting you're undressed right now. I just mean, like, get dressed enough for you to be seen.
I mean, you don't have to get dressed. You just
exactly.
If you want to come on the show undressed, we will all sweat tent in your honor.
That's
how we roll.
I'm a token Wetlander. There I yield. This is how we roll. But just come join us and squee over Ben and Shiad and Fael.
I think they, we were really not sure about the lack of gall, and I feel like they did a really good job. They did a really good job letting them fill the gall hole, with the exception of the friendship part, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Perrin and Fael connected in kind of that way that he needed someone to connect to, but I think he's gonna need a BFF too. What
if he gets taken to White Cloak headquarters? Like in Amadesia or wherever they are. Is that right? Is that where they are?
Amadesia, yes.
Yeah. And there's a bunch of people in cages, and Gaul is actually there, and they become prison buddies, and they break out, and then Gaul has tow to Perrin for helping him break out. Then their buddy romance romance starts, and Bane and Chiad and Fio come in, and they're like, "Yeah, screw you, we're already out, bitches." And then they're like best friends, and then all of a sudden, like, there's the Bane and Chiad Gaul thing going on.
Okay.
Just a thought. Who knows?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. It would be a nice reverse. It would be quite funny.
That's almost as good as my Loyal theory. So we'll see.
People suggesting Aram could be his BFF. So
Aram is going to be blacksmithing.
Aram is gonna, he's the blacksmith. So
He does need to apprentice under someone, right? Like if he can tinker like 2 pots, probably. Like that's how much Tuatharan are capable
But not
of
when they're
tinkering.
hot. You don't want to tinker while they're hot.
Well, that's what I mean. He's got to learn how to
Yeah.
tinker like more than pots.
yes.
So true.
Yeah. So I feel like Aram and Perrin have a chance to form a relationship. And probably it's not going to be as dumb as it is.
I think actually to actually be serious with that for a moment, I think the way that Isla is treating Perrin compared to the way she's treating Aram is like the seeds of Aram's later arc, where he's just like, susceptible to Masema and turns on Perrin. Because he's like, here I am. I've been a good Tuatharan. I followed the way of the leaf my whole life. I picked up a sword once to literally stop a monster pouncing on me with a baby. And you shun me and don't talk to me. And here's Mr. I lead armies and I talk to wolves and I slaughter people left, right, and center, choosing to give up violence. And he's like, oh, you're so good. Yeah, okay, I'm proud of you. Maybe you've listened, you've changed. It's like lifetime of violence. Not lifetime violence, but, in comparison, lifetime of violence to one act of violence to save a baby.
I know.
It's a very typical fallacy in the world of like marketing and customer relations. It's you have to expend so much more effort to bring someone new in, like to get a new customer. But you get so complacent about your existing customers that you forget to take care of them and meet their needs where they are. And then they wander away and you're like, what happened to them? And then it's just because you didn't do your job. That's what I'm saying.
I honestly do not like Aram's end in the books. I hate it so much. I really wanted him to just instead of turn that way, just accept the violence and then just become the master of it and just be a captain in Perrin's army or whatever, or go with Matt or something. Like the whole Masema rap, which I don't think they're gonna do in the show. Maybe they will, but
I don't know. They left room for Masema-ness.
Well, we gotta leave
the last time we saw
a lot of space for those arms. We need to bring them in.
Listen, we need to be able to appreciate a hot Messiah. We need to be able to take that profit and understand why people would follow him. And I feel like they've chosen the correct actor to compel people to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna follow that guy.
Yeah. It's like, let's not make him bald. Let's not make him
let's not make him dirty. They're all dirty and gross. It's gross.
Let's show that man off topless, and the zealots will line up. So
that's what I'm saying. You need
Brother
a charismatic
Zachariah,
leader.
oh my God.
He could be.
Make Aram the next wisdom. It worked so well for the last 2. Oh boy.
Okay, pour one out for Days Conger.
Yeah.
I've been a Days Conger fan from.
But what a way to go, man!
Days Conger.
Yeah.
Both went to 400,000 AA meetings in the split second of a heartbeat.
Yes.
And decided to turn it around and save the whole freaking village, as any good wisdom should.
Yeah.
She the wisdom out of that.
She did.
I'm sure we're so sad about that.
Oh, yeah.
I might be more sad about that than Loyal, I'll be honest.
Listen, I kind of feel this. I think I'm equally sad about both of them no longer being on this show, but think that the way that they went out is just fantastic.
She poured one out for herself.
She did pour one out right on the
yes.
ground.
Yeah. Days we barely knew you. Yeah.
Like, I guess I expected her to, like, what Maren Elvira did in this episode. That's what I expected Days to be doing.
Kind of,
Like,
yeah.
Like, Maren, to me, I've never, like, I honestly, no offense, actress, whatever your name is, like, I just felt like nothing for the character the whole time. Like, it was like, okay, this is Eggie's mom, and that's nice. But, like, Days' impact in, like, the first episode of the whole series was strong. Like, she was just a powerhouse.
Yeah, Days is that backup dancer in the band that you're not actually, as a backup dancer, meant to draw attention, but they just have that face or mannerism or something that just like gets, catches the attention, and people just like can't help but now look at them as opposed to the, that's what Days did in the first episode.
She's a backup
continue to
dancer
do
with
here.
a
Love
pitchfork.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah, backup
love
dancer with
her.
pitchfork. Yeah.
Like, I know that Maren Elvira is like taking the Bran Elvira role. They just kind of like switched whether it was her mom or her dad doing that. But also hashtag where's Egwene's dad?
Hashtag where's
He's
Sam?
off with the other dads, So
Oh, did he go with the other dads? I didn't think he did.
When did
he
they
did?
say that? I missed that.
Yeah, it said Bran, Tam,
Abel.
And
Abel.
Abel? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I
So,
forgot.
You know what they're
My
doing?
bad.
They're probably at a bar and getting like a portrait taken of one of them and drinking lots of beers.
They're at Watch Hill, all right? They're hanging out at Watch Hill, getting drunk.
Maybe they're gonna be the army that Fael's gonna find, the Devon Ride army, to come and rescue Perrin from the White Cloaks.
Yes, there we go.
Maybe they start the Band of the Red Hand.
I don't get this reference, so I do apologize. Daisy's left shark.
I don't get it either, Bane and Shead.
Sorry, B&C. Again, the whatever level of clothing you feel appropriate in, then come join us.
So back to the Maren Elvira. I mean.
Oh, by the way, sorry, we're 22 minutes in. I realized we haven't Daily Veiled or anything.
Okay.
So maybe we wrap up with a Daily Veil later.
We do have some things that we want to share, so please
We
don't
do.
skip. We won't skip Daily Veil.
Katy Perry left shark. Don't get it. Sorry.
Still don't get it. Sorry.
I'm the
Look,
worst.
Feel free to send us corrections, Bane and Shead, because apparently we need to know this. So
We do,
yes,
okay.
tell us how. Come explain to us at some point and tell us how we meet our toe. But yes, carry on. No.
So I feel like Maren's participation in the battle was very realistic.
Yeah, it was good. It was so good.
Meaning like she's like a village elder. She's doing what she can, but she doesn't know what she can do. So she's just trying to like follow Perrin's lead and that kind of thing. I felt like what she did was very realistic.
I agree.
I didn't need her to steal the limelight from anyone, so I felt like. Excuse me. I felt like she was fine. Like she didn't bother me.
Yeah, I mean, I liked what she did. I just like we've never seen her do so much. You know what I mean? Like I was like, oh, okay, whatever. I just expected more days to be doing that, especially after they said she was a wisdom before they acknowledged that she was a channeler. Like, okay, that was.
I think it's interesting that they have not touched on the fact that some wisdoms don't have to channel. Like that's not a thing in the show. Right? They haven't. They've basically said that if you're a wisdom, you channel.
There's no evidence that Natty was the channeler.
Nobody said she was a wisdom.
That was just in Nynaeve.
That was Nynaeve's future dream accepted test, right?
So who was? Because I assume that's why everyone was like, oh, like two wisdoms work so well for them. They both died. Like, who was the previous wisdom then?
The woman that went to the White Tower and she didn't channel enough. The previous wisdom before Nynaeve.
Oh no, no. Someone said earlier like go be wisdom. Aram should go be wisdom. It worked out well for the last two. I assumed they meant Natty because Natty.
I thought they were talking about Nynaeve.
I thought they were talking about Nynaeve.
Yeah. Like not being able to fulfill their roles. One died and one got carried off by a Trolloc and then she survived, of course. But
yeah. Trollocs have a thing for wisdoms. Clearly.
one of the Kevs coming in to help us out. Katy Perry did the Super Bowl halftime, and backup dancers dressed as sharks. The one on the left was super extra.
Thank you.
That was
Appreciate
very
that.
nice of you to explain,
Thank you
Kevin.
so
Yes.
much for explaining that to us. I've
And
definitely seen that.
Bane and Shed has just sent images of the sharks.
I love that this is what we're talking about. This is very
Yeah.
important.
And
We
the one
need
on
to
the left,
understand those sharks.
the one on the left became super extra.
Oh, okay.
Stage
And
left or left like this?
Yes.
Stage
Yes.
left?
Stage left or
Stage-
audience left? Which one is
One
left?
of those sharks became extra. I think that's
Okay,
what
good
we
to
just
know.
need to
We'll
leave
have to
that
watch
with.
it later.
We'll have to find that video.
When I'm drowning my tears, I'll need some shark support.
Thank you.
Babe.
Right.
I really so yeah. Yesterday.
Is it time for? Shall we Daily Veil?
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Now that we're
I
25
can talk
minutes
about
in?
this. I can talk about this later. Yeah.
All right.
Let's yeah.
Do it.
Ladies and gents, it is time for the news.
Spear brothers and sisters,
It is time to cover up your face.
for the wheel of time has news, and we shall dance the spears with it.
This is the Daily Veil.
All right, folks.
I was like preemptively waiting for the music.
Yeah,
I
I
was
was like,
pre-dancing to the music.
For dance.
It wasn't even on yet, and I was going. Da-da-da-da-da.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't on just then. Sorry. All right, we'll kick off the same. I feel like I've just ruined your fun there. Sorry. We'll kick it off with folks. JordanCon is 2 weeks away, and I know this because we keep up with these things. I also know this because they are looking for volunteers. Oh Jesus, you can't see that at all. There we go. Have you signed up to volunteer at JordanCon 2025 yet, What's guys? Now that our schedule is live, consider rounding out your JordanCon by helping out for a shift or two. Do we have any previous season volunteers with us today, perhaps?
Me.
I see someone in the audience. I call
Yeah,
on you.
so-
Call on me. Okay.
Melindhra,
so-
please explain your experiences as armed security.
As every JordanCon, I have dressed up like an IEL and served as volunteer security. It's really fun because I get to guard doors and it just like personally entertains me to do that dressed up as an IEL. And you get to like have some power and tell people, no, you're going in the wrong way. And they for some reason they keep putting me at the like literally the same place each year. And then I get to like tell Matt Hatch he can't come in the out, and then he gets mad, and then he turns around. Anyway, no, it's not about being power hungry. It's about helping out JordanCon and having a chance. Actually, one of the cool things about it is you actually meet a lot of people when you volunteer. You meet a bunch of people that maybe you haven't met before, because you're in a different place, and it helps out the con, and it helps keep the cost down for all of us. JordanCon is an incredibly affordable con, and that's because so many people volunteer. So you should do it.
Yes. I can't do it.
Do
I
it
won't
or
be there.
be square.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone needs to take my place this year because I can't go. I will actually be at a wedding, so I cannot be at JordanCon. So someone else needs to guard the door dressed
Yes.
as an IEL
In
on
honor
my-
of Melindhra.
on my behalf. You
So
will have much G.
much G. So that's our first piece of news. Melindhra, what's our next piece of news?
Yeah. I have this up actually. So we're doing a thing. A bunch of content creators are trying to work on a fan campaign to celebrate the Wheel of Time and celebrate our group and our love of the show in an organized way, in order to encourage the Wheel of Time show to finally announce that renewal, which we know is coming. So what we've done actually is created a survey you can fill out. If you haven't filled it out yet, I'm going to put the link in the chat, but it kind of looks like this: Renew the Wheel of Time fan engagement survey. You can fill this out. It's really quick, and just gives us some interesting stats to collect, to share, and give you ways to talk about your love of the show. So do that.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Any other news?
Oh yeah, there's just a little bit of news, just a wee bit,
A
just a smidge, but it's actually huge. We have to say big congratulations to our token Wetlander Rob, who has this great channel called Malkier Talks, if you don't know, and he has now surpassed 2,000 subscribers. It's pretty awesome.
Ramen rattle.
Oh no, I don't have any ramen rattles today, but
I have one.
2000.01 now because it's currently like 2016 or something like that. This happened last Saturday. So yeah,
it's
really
pretty
cool.
awesome.
I want to. Sorry, Mel.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I want to say thank you to everyone who, does work content with me. Like obviously Melindhra, Amis, Leigh-A, and everyone who's ever hopped on a live stream with me, or joined me on a video. Anyone who shares my videos, likes them, comments on them, shares them. People who turn up to What Holiday, all those crazy things. Like, I do this for fun quite often at strange times of the day or nights, depending on how you want to look at it. And yeah, I really love doing it. So yeah, thank you so much. Let's see how many. I didn't think I was going to get to 2,000 this year, to be honest. I've been floating around for a long time, and I was like, maybe I get like 18 or 1,800 this season, because I got a few last season, and it's actually just been wild. And since during the season, we've gone from 1,600 subscribers to over 2,000 now. So yeah, thank you. Everyone.
Amazing.
What a great community we've built here. It's super fun to be part of this channel and hang out with the Foldies all the time.
All the time.
It's really fun.
And you do so much stuff. Like, people probably don't even know how much you do on the back.
I do far less than I used to.
Things you organize and all the things. And you have a con, you've got What a Holiday, you've got 2 shows or a podcast in the show, plus all your own stuff. I mean, you do a lot of stuff. It's pretty amazing.
You
cook. And you cook.
I cook for a living. Yes, that's how I keep the lights on by cooking. Yes, I do keep meaning to try and get back into making like fun cooking videos at some point. But yeah, there will be other things coming. Like I'm going to do more reactions. I like doing the reactions. I'm going to like try and do them more often. So, but yeah, like I do a few things. Speaking of Malkier Con, folks, do make sure you get your tickets. I am in negotiations for a very fun guest.
Oh my gosh!
Hey,
I last weekend got a yes from a guest. So I need to look at times and schedules and budgets and things of that nature to see if it's a doable thing. So I don't want to tell anything else about it for now, because I don't want to like raise hopes and
okay.
Put anyone.
I'm not hoping anything. I am not hopeful. Look at my not hopeful face.
We're very serious.
There will be special guests, but like I don't want to like hint who it might be, because if it doesn't work out, I'm obviously going to feel bad for leading you on about it. So, but
this isn't doing anything.
Nope, I'm not curious at all.
Nope. Don't want to know. Not gonna hack your email tonight. I mean, hey.
Well, that's fine, because it was verbal, so you won't find it in my emails.
But speaking of this community, do you have any of those memberships to give out to celebrate your 2000s? Or are you out of those this month?
Or did we do it already?
Point, actually, I might have. I don't know. Let me
I don't think we did it last week.
Yeah, I don't think
I did it. So let me. Sorry, just realized I need to be on a different screen for it. Yeah, the way you said that's talking about that, it sounded like when people say hey, you got any more of them, like what's the meme, the guy like, you got any more of them, like those good,
Are you calling me a junkie?
When he's scratching his face, Dave Chappelle. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Oh no, wait, I do have some. We haven't given them out. So Bosh,
Yay!
there's 5.
Let's celebrate 2000.
Woo!
Glenn.
Let's just do it again. Let's do it again.
Knuckles, Emily,
Matt
Dagger, yeah,
Sherry.
Sherry.
Dawson. James.
Is it Giannis? Melissa.
Or maybe it's Giannis. Melissa and Hip Karma, baby.
Ooh,
Yep,
cool
Ka-
name.
oh, good karma there.
Namaste.
Love
There we
it.
go. Glenn, like, green.
It's not easy being green.
It's
Glenn.
not easy being green. This is true.
Yay.
So, yeah, have fun
Thank
with those
you.
people. They get you fun emojis to be able to use in the chat.
Yeah.
So go to the emoji button. There'll be special emojis.
And
can
you
use.
get to be green.
And you get to be green. Yeah, the colors change the longer you say a member.
Oh,
Yeah.
Fun.
I did not know that.
Mhm.
Today I learned.
Yeah.
I have one tiny little piece of news that's not really relative, but kind of relative to the show. Because I think this could trickle down to other award ceremonies. But today, I don't know if you saw the Oscars announced that they will be adding a stunt performer category to the Oscars. So all I could think of was like, oh, I wish it was like in the Emmys and we could have nominated Magda for 107 and that would have been just like amazing. So I hope that that trickles down to other, awards, SAG and Golden Globes and Emmys and things like that, because I don't know, do they do that in the, what's it called, the BAFTA Awards? Do they do it there?
I don't think there's one in the BAFTAs.
Yeah.
But I feel like there should be.
That's
And
so cool.
yeah, very cool. Richard, of his own regard, just became a member. Thank you,
Aw.
Richard. Woo, welcome.
One of our 2000
Hey.
strong.
Meg has just turned up, has just finished watching 307.
Whoa. Meg,
right,
tell us
Meg.
how you feel.
Welcome.
We're here for
We're,
you.
we're 36 minutes in, and we haven't actually. No, we have talked about the episode because we
We've
did that for
talked
the first
about it a
45
little
minutes.
bit.
Yes. Yeah. I was about to say we haven't actually talked about it yet, but we did.
Meg
so,
says she's processed.
yes, that's
valid. That's valid.
fair. Nomi Garden's like she's done stunts. She's done many stunts.
She did.
Yeah,
She did.
true.
Yeah.
She was Joya's stunt double.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's the stunt, but the stunt people need much like so.
Yeah.
Last Sunday, I went to the Oliviers, which, if you're not familiar with what they are, they're the award show for West End here. So think of them as the Tonys, but
Mhm.
the UK ones, named after Lord Laurence Olivier. And it's great fun because Sulin works for the company that runs the Oliviers. So she works the weekend and can get friends and family tickets, and I get to go to that. And it was an absolute blast. I nearly knocked over John Lithgow in the corridor to the VIP section. Billy Porter threw his dinner on me. Adrian Brody walked past me 2 seconds later, and then I had drinks.
Good thing none of them were holding a Wheel of Time sign.
Yeah. And then I should have. I have Toe, which I've already told Anis, but I was stood at the bar next to you, McGregor, and did not realize it until afterwards. But anyway, my point
I
there
may
is.
have seen it at that point because I love him so much. We have the same head wrinkle, him and I.
Yeah, I was like, I absolutely missed the opportunity to go like, hello there.
Hello there.
I was like,
Oh, that would have been awful. Don't ever do that.
it would have been, but I would have done it because, he embraces being Obi-Wan Kenobi. So, anyway. What was I saying? Oh, yes. They are very, very adamant at those awards as being like, here's awards for lighting, here's awards for set design, things like that. And then they're
That's
also, they do 3 different, crew. And when I say crew, I mean, people that just work in other parts, people that work at venues, manage venues, people that run ticketing offices, things like that. They're just, the crew services that they do. There's 3 awards that they hand out. They don't do it live on stage. It's been pre-done, but they do display them on screen with photos of them and their awards. And, they make sure to recognize that. So it's great that stunts, are getting now an Oscar type thing. No, Kev, I didn't see Mira in person. She didn't go to the after party. I did see Mira at the event. Obviously, she was down in the crowd where everyone sits to, potentially go up if they win an award. She did not win her award for Best Actress. Although, quite amusing to me anyway. Side note, Mira Sayal narrates the voiceovers. for the entire event. So when they be like,
Oh.
and the nominees are, it's Mira's voice who's like, this person for this play. And so for me, I'm sure she had a bit of a chuckle herself. She had to narrate her own name for her own nomination, you know. So I was just like, fun chuckle.
That's funny.
But yeah, like, so it's great to see that the stunt people are getting some recognition in the Oscars, and I hope the other awards follow suit. So, okay, so Emmys do have stunt awards, performance, and coordination. Excellent, good on you, Emmys. So now we just need.
I'm just gonna say Magda got robbed.
Yeah,
For real. The fact that she didn't even get a nomination.
Oh,
Ew.
yeah.
coming for you, Emmys. Look out next year.
All right. I think that's it for sort of news stuff.
Sure is.
Oh, personal news. Like actual personal news
we
today.
forgot. Personal muse, not news.
Personal
Muse.
news, ladies and gents. I haven't loaded it up to the computer or anything. It's just occurred to me right now, so
Just gonna
apologize for
show
the
it
photo.
on your camera.
I'm gonna throw it on my phone here. But ladies and gents, please meet
Aww.
new member of my family that I will be seeing again on Monday to actually bring home. That is Sulin the Second.
Sulin the Second.
For two reasons. Firstly, because we already have a Sulin in this fandom.
We sure do.
And secondly, because her name at the rescue is Susu.
Aw.
So Sulin the Second, and I've totally blurred my camera up now as well. So
It cannot handle.
I cannot handle that. No, let me just refresh the rate.
It just wants you to put the cat back up.
That's
But
right.
just put the
What
cat
about?
back. So Rob is becoming a crazy cat lady. I
Yeah.
am becoming a crazy cat lady.
Okay.
I can't wait for
He's
Amir to
been
meet
a crazy
Susu.
cat lady for a long time. Let's be clear.
Yes.
Let's be clear.
But look at it.
Oh, I love the colors. What a good paint job.
Yeah.
Wow. Very
She's a
good,
one-
Kaden Soar. Very good.
Yes. Yes, Sulin the Second. All right, let me refresh my camera settings. But yeah, I think that's it. I don't know of any other news.
Okay. I'm
Okay.
sure there's a million things being posted on the interwebs right now about
Yeah.
the show, but we don't have time for that.
No, palette cleanser time.
Yes.
Yes,
There's your
a
palette
big
cleanser.
one, a long one.
There you go. Long palette cleanser. We'll change the music. We'll bring it back down.
We
Yeah,
didn't
get
get
a
any cold rocks, cold butts this episode.
You
We
get a-
need
you get
an
a-
extra long butt.
cleansing voiceover.
Butt rock.
Yeah.
There we go.
That was an extra long one.
I like
Yeah.
that. That was good.
Well, we
That's
gave it-
good.
Give it a
I
moment
feel like
of
that gave me a moment to like
Yeah,
take it in
yeah.
and like do some like soothing, calm breathing.
Yeah,
and like,
really good.
I feel cleansed. I feel cleansed. I feel ready
Yeah.
to do our show convo.
Yeah,
All right.
do it.
Niece. You
Yeah,
gonna do
let
it?
me, yeah, you got me. You got me.
I got you. I
Okay,
got you.
everybody, if this is your first time joining the Threefold Talk for this season of the Wheel of Time, we've done some cool little categories of some of our favorite moments of the show. If you haven't been here, the stabbiest moment is sort of like literally the best stab, the best fight, the best kill, whatever you like that you feel. Could be a verbal stab, could be a magic stab, whatever you feel is the stabbiest. We got Hand Talk of the Week, which can be literally hand talk, or it can be any IEL moment from any character that is IEL-ish, if that's the word. That's the Hand Talk of the Week. And Honorary Stone Dog is something that maybe you just didn't quite agree with. It didn't sit well with you. It was silly, maybe not necessary. Kind of just taking the
We
piss
won't
and
have
really
any of those
Some
this
scenes.
episode. Zero,
hardly
zero of them.
any of those this episode. And Best Bonkers Banana is something that really shocked you, that was really cool, one of your favorite things. It can be bonkers with graphics. It could just be something that really meant something to you. So start noodling on those ideas because we want to see it in the chat. And today, let's start with Hand Talk of the Week, since this was a Bane and Chiad week, even though I know it was really a Perrin week, but we'll just go with Bane and Chiad because that's who we are.
It's a Bane and
Um,
Chiad episode.
Are we
The Bane
just,
and Chiad episode.
yeah, we're just gonna put Bane and Chiad in all caps, right?
Yeah.
Is that just
Sure. Okay, let's start
Yeah.
with that.
I
'cause
mean,
that
we
seems
did
appropriate.
we did learn some hand talk that was very clear. Like we learned that this was like the veil hand talk, right? Because they like
Yeah.
literally did that, and they're like, "Eh?"
Mhm.
and they're like, "Eh?"
It's not put a clown nose on. That's something different.
Mhm.
Bane and Chia, yes.
Yeah.
What else?
Ooh.
What else you guys got?
Oh man.
Most Aiel moments. I
think Mel and I might have the exact same one.
yeah.
I'm just gonna
You get to say it first.
No. Rob can say his first.
No, go, because I'm not struggling, but I'm
I'm just
like,
gonna type it, and then I'll type
Okay.
it real slow.
Type it. Fucking Wetland.
I mean, as obviously there was that one.
Hold on.
But you know, I wanted to leave that for the Aiel to actually say.
Yeah.
I want to give an honorary hand talk of the week to Loyal for understanding Ito so
definitely
well
Mm-hmm.
that he knew how to use it against his friends.
How am I spelling that wrong?
The apostrophe after the E as well. It's got two.
Oh gosh, so many apostrophes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I've slept like 3 hours, friends. Okay.
that's fair. Alex
What
is Alex is coming straight off the bat. Fael jumping on people to kill them.
Ooh, especially the like this one. Oh, that one was
Yes.
good. The like
Yes.
like the
Yeah.
but I mean, can we're gonna cross post that in Stabbiest moment.
Probably,
Yeah.
yeah.
Those two. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, so good. So heal.
I feel like you could do one of
the-
those movements with Fael, like in those, battle scenes you see in some other shows where they hit and like they run up like on their hands and they lift them up and they do like some crazy flip in there. Like I hope we get a little more gymnastics from Fael at some point. That'd be really fun.
I could see her doing the Legolas like climb up the side of the elephant thing.
Yeah.
on the elephant, yeah,
or the horse mounting circle-y loopy loop.
She'll definitely be mounting some things, I'm sure. Anyway, sorry, Rob, what were you saying?
No, I was agreeing. So Nova Garden, Isabella is tiny house. We should get up there, paddle step stool.
No Tinkerbell.
Little battle,
Right.
yeah, battle bell.
Battle bell.
Ooh, battle bell. Ooh, that's fun.
She can be my battle bell anytime.
Okay. Over telling Sembui to suck his spears.
Was that Sen Bowie?
That's Bowie.
That skinny guy?
Yeah.
No,
It was Sen Bowie.
Yeah.
Oh.
Again, the show making people we
That's
love
fierce,
to
is that what he
hate kind of competent. Like I was kind of like cheering for Sen Bowie talking back to Maxim.
For real,
I really
did you spend any time studying the other lands of this world? Like long river bows are pretty famous, I think, in the Westlands. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure that came up in a conversation. Like,
Maxim
hey,
was too busy studying Ivan's ass.
We have to defend the city. Who knows of a good way? I'm sure there was like 100 guys. They're like, I've got a longbow. And the next one's like, I don't know what that is. Like, what are you doing? It was such a weird thing. Like, that was a weird conversation.
You take your line and you hold it.
Yeah, exactly. You hold the line. It's so funny that you hold the line is, kind of what we're talking about right now, being a very Aiel moment. And it's what I titled this episode. Having not seen episode 7, it's what I titled it from the preview, because we see Aaron saying like hold the line.
Yeah.
How I feel like the women's circle, like hold the line type moment should be in Hand Talk. Like the women fighting. I don't know, like, are we okay with that?
I'm okay with whatever you want to say.
It is your entry choice.
Yeah, I want to put that in there, like, because they're all just like we're gonna fight
personally.
anyway, and there were swords, so there were spears, so Yeah.
Oh man, I forgot to grab it. So, total tangent. Well, kind of semi-related tangent. So, when we were at Malkier Con, there was a group of people who went and like visited the quarry where the Two Rivers set was, and they found like under a bush, they found like some set pieces that had been like forgotten to be cleaned up, and they brought them back. And
you mean this?
yes. And I was like, I was like, this is the episode. This is the episode where we're going to find out where those were. And I like found it and I was like, where are my pieces from? Because they had
I just like want to wear it just to
they
like
had some
stab people.
stakes in the barricade. They had some metal tipped like points on the wooden stakes.
Oh!
And they were those. They went on the top of the
Man,
metal.
what does that look like?
Yeah, it's been burnt since, but yeah, it was metal. It looked very metal in the show. Now it just looks like the foam it is. But yeah, it was cool. I was like, oh my god, that's what the thing is.
Yeah.
We finally
Very
saw it.
Very exciting.
Richard's putting in loyal, understanding hand talk. Like, I don't think he would like that.
Honorary IL of the week is loyal for sure.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Lottie says Days asking Alana if she has to give up drinking. Yes.
An IL would never give up drinking.
No.
Also, I do love the Days, after the big channeling moment where Alana has, helped them create, their ice spears of death from the sky. She then looks at the booze and be like, well, I don't fucking need that because that felt amazing. Like
Yeah.
I love
What have
that.
I been missing out on? Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, she realized Alana never really answered her, but she was like, okay, yeah, I'm going to figure out how to do this so I can do
Yeah.
that.
Please. Alana
That was
is plenty
better
of
than
snacks.
lightning. Oh
She
man,
can-
how great were those coughing girls? So
Yeah.
funny. They were
So
delightful.
cute. I can't wait to see them grow up in the show a little bit and then just have to hold hands the whole time and do their little channeling
Yeah.
thing.
I don't know.
They're gonna have
Sheep
twin
Tutor
powers.
is pretty freaking fantastic. I'm very happy with them.
I love how they
Yeah.
described it like the horn. It's
Yeah.
like, the sheep tutor, and then this when you blow it, thanks to me and Nils joking around, basically squeaks like it's being tooted.
It's-
I was
Yeah.
like, another moment. I'm like, did you?
I know,
But
like, it felt a little bit like they were laughing because of the way the fans reacted to the shape of the horn. They like put that in, like it felt a
Yeah.
little fan
Yes.
servicey to me, which
I agree.
and honestly, I was like, I'm okay with that. I'm okay
Yeah.
with that because it did look like a bladder.
yeah,
I would have laughed if she
Bladder
said
blower.
sheps,
yeah,
but she said sheep, not sheps.
yes. Matthew Murdoch would also like to put in the loud cough from Bane and Shead regarding who is fastest.
Love it. That's funny because I have that somewhere else.
Come on. No, company might come and join me in a second. Yeah. Took me a moment to get that. I was just like, oh, they're coughing quite loud in the background. And then I was just like, oh, wait, no, they're coughing because of his comment. Took me a moment.
Yeah. Yes. Too loud.
Anything else from chat?
One
Shall
second.
we move on?
I think we could probably move on.
Yeah.
I just need to. Yeah, I think we can move on.
Next category.
Let's go diagonal. Diagonally.
Diagonally?
Diagonally. And
Okay.
we're gonna.
All right,
You go.
folks, put in your honorary stone.
I'm
dog
gonna put it
moments
in
this
because
episode.
we're just gonna keep
Oh,
continuing.
just
The loud call
put it
from
in.
Bane and Chiad regarding who was
Oh.
the fastest was my honorary stone dog of the week.
Really?
Felt like I was like, come on, that didn't need to happen. Like a look would have been fine, but the cough was like it was
Too
too
much?
much. It
Over
was
the
too
top.
much. It was too much.
Oh, okay. For me, it was perfect. But yeah, fine. No,
I just wanted
to
to look. I just wanted them to look at each other or
Okay.
hand knock at each other. I didn't need them to cough.
Yeah.
I felt like I was like, come
They
on.
talk a little bit more than I expected, I'll be honest. Like out loud versus like just hand talking a lot. Just in my mind when I read the books.
Okay. Go
What
ahead.
about you, Rob? I have two, and it's actually with the same person. I feel kind of bad.
I'm
It's
not,
okay.
not actually. Okay.
Do
I
it.
have
Please.
one. I have one.
Please, yes.
And I had to really think to find one, if I'm honest, because I'm not really sure. I'm okay with everything in this episode.
Wow.
We didn't see the Trolloc that chased the Tinkers find its way into the inn. So while they're all fighting outside, suddenly a Trolloc is found. And it's not like the Trolloc appeared in the woods. The Trolloc appeared from the way they came from. At least that's how it kind of...
Yeah,
Yeah,
it looks
that's
like
how
he
it
came
looked to
through the
me,
tunnel,
too.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like
Yeah.
it came from the tunnel. When you've seen the stunt work that Michael Harding has shared, on the stunt previous folks, you see that actually that Trolloc jumps over the top, but in the episode it looks like he comes from the doorway.
Oh, yeah,
over
it
the
definitely
hill?
looks like he comes through the doorway.
Yeah,
Oh,
so yeah, I think just like the Trolloc chasing the Tinkers just didn't quite, it wasn't quite edited right, so that it looked like he came through the doorway when he didn't. So yeah,
Jason.
yeah, that fits. I like that. Yeah, you can yeah, to our fan Tinkers, yeah. So I
Alright.
suppose that might be my sort of Stone Dog moment there. Otherwise, I'm struggling to find one, if I'm honest.
Okay. I have two. I'm just going to say one first and let everyone else go in chat.
Okay.
The profile view of Alana's hair before the battle is like this tall. It literally looked like they stuffed her real hair in a wig, and it drove me nuts.
Oh.
Like she turns her hair, and it looks just like something you would never see a hair doing, because it's not real hair. So next time you look, it looks kind of like a football. if you know what American football or rugby ball, it kind of looks like that. It's like, so that drove me bananas. I don't know why. I didn't have very much to say about Stone Dogs for this this episode either. So that was just really irked me. And it's silly and petty, and it's fine. It's no big deal. Nothing to do with her acting or anything. I just thought it was a really weird choice of hairstyle or wig style. So that was.
I mean, look, I'm here earlier with the Mulgaze scene with the maids in the background wearing sweaters, so you can be, absolutely have this moment about the rugby ball hairdo.
Absolutely.
It was just too put together. That's all. For like, we've been, working all day, like getting everyone ready. We're like, shivving our spears, and
look,
her hair
she's
is
got
like
some good quality hairspray. Is all I'm saying. So
does, magic spray.
Yeah.
Who's next? Who's got something?
Lottie has something.
Yeah. 1 second. Right here. Maren picking the meat out the stew to feed the vegans.
I know.
I mean, yeah, that feels a little like, for me, that fits into the, put in the Stone Dog category, because it's just like, she means well, but it's really not how you feed vegans.
It's really gross. Did you see Ila's face when that happened? She was like, ew, like, I don't want to eat that.
I think she was eyeballing Aram, who was gonna eat it anyway. Like he was gonna eat it, and she was like telling him to put that stew down, and she was like, and he was like, God damn. That particular moment made me laugh so much, because I've had that challenge with, like, I used to work helping with making sure that artists like famous people got like their writers taken care of and that sort of stuff. So I was working with this like small town venue, and I was like, okay, we have an artist who's a raw vegan, and she was like, oh, okay, and I was like, do you have anything for a raw vegan to eat with your cater? And she's like, absolutely, we'll make them some rice. And I'm just like,
wow,
that's not really. Nope. And I had to it was really hard for her
That's
to
not
wrap.
how vegans work.
It was really hard for her to wrap her mind around this concept. So it just gave me like straight her vibes, and a good chuckle reminded me of that moment where she was gonna cook some rice for a raw vegan.
Fair. Norman Garden says Bane and she had spinning at Lost One, wasting water like that.
Okay, I will accept it. I mean, not that I cannot accept that we're putting people's things in, but that's a valid comment for sure. I was a little confused by that scene because they were like intrigued and interested, and then like never mind.
I also thought it was weird because they actually usually the Aiel like protect the Tuathon. They don't. Maybe I don't remember that, but I don't remember them making fun of the Tuathon. Like as like they don't disrespect them; they protect them. Like
yeah.
I thought that was really weird. Like I'm like, am I just not remembering that attitude in the books? And
yeah, I don't. Yeah, it wasn't quite like that, like the way that they're depicting it in the show. But they definitely were uncomfortable around them. Like the Aiel were uncomfortable with them because they just didn't quite understand how anyone could abhor violence that much.
Well, they will understand next episode. I'll tell you what. Anyway, go on.
And Olva comes in with his Stone Dog moment. Perrin letting Thane go. Yes, I know it stopped the killing.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna kill him when he got down there, but
yeah,
I'm glad that it surprised me. I'm glad that I didn't do what I expected, even though I was like, just get it done.
Yeah. In honor of all of the fans who are upset, this is not my Stone Dog, but I am in honor of all of the fans who are upset about this. I'm gonna add Loyal not surviving to this list.
Just
things that you don't like. People didn't like that, and that's a very valid thing to feel, right? Even if something happens,
boo.
your feelings are valid. Your feelings are valid for sure.
It sucks.
And I think it's a good. I mean, personally, I think it's a good thing to keep in mind because we've been hearing that there are some surprising things in episode 8 too, right? Your feelings are valid.
Yeah.
And not everyone's gonna react the same way, but we do still need to be the light focused, respectful fandom we are, and not go off on the actors or the showrunners or that kind of thing for the artistic choices we make. Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I fully understand people that are, upset. I think the way I described it earlier, I'll take this down for a moment so we can see us better. For me, if everyone survives or like your fan favorites and main characters survive to the end and no one dies, that cheapens the stakes of the world. If you get to the end and you do... And it's not an attack on Brandon, but if you do what Brandon typically does, which is like, or did in this occasion especially.
You mean kill one female character and nobody else? Oh, sorry, go on.
But also kill like a bunch really quickly as well.
Yeah.
The deaths become unmeaningful. And yes, he did kill one female character. I didn't want to get into that.
Main character. There were other deaths.
There were, yeah.
Just one main character.
If you do loads and loads and loads all in one go right at the last minute, it's it numbs you to the effects of it, and the stakes haven't been there until that last moment. So, it for me losing a fan favorite character at this stage, it does suck. I was gutted when Natty died, and what has Juliet done for what has Natty done for the show really? Loyal's done much more for the show. Although Loyal does like have a wandering role for a lot of the rest of the books, he does have a lot of fan favorite moments and things like that. But by dying now, it shows that the stakes are real, and it will cost people their lives. And so, for me, in the artistic setup of the show that they've done, I'm like, I don't like Loyal dying, but it works with the story they're telling.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I guess I just want to like respect people who are really upset about it. Right?
Yeah,
and respect those feelings and give them and in honor of that, give them space to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I get it. I didn't want him to die either. I do understand why people are upset, and they need that, that space. Like, it's totally valid to feel that way.
Totally. I think when my first reaction was definitely a book response because the Wheel of Time is written by him, right? Like the story is told through his writings, right? So that really, not that I wasn't sad that he was gone, but more like we are losing another relation to the source material. I think that was not just his character, but just like the philosophy of the books, right? Like
Right.
he is there to document this historical 2 years that we read in 14 books, right? So like he's the librarian. He keeps all the knowledge, he shares all the knowledge, and he's there after the fact to continue on, right? And so for me, it was a loss of, another piece where we can't connect the books to the show. And I'm not like, if that's, he went down in an amazing way. And, this the way a fighter is gonna go, right? Like he's fighting for the world and his friends and the two rivers and the dragon all at one time. Like it was his moment, and I don't want to disrespect that either by being upset about him being gone. It's okay to I'm upset too. Like I was super mad, like angry, mad. But I think more of it was like, well, who's going to tell the story now? Like, because I don't really think they developed his character until this season. Like, he's been there since season 1, and like his scenes got cut, and it was kind of like bring him in for a second and then put him away back in the box. Like, they didn't really have time to develop him as well as I think they could have. Just for time sense, COVID sense, whatever. Like, it just didn't get done. So until this season, which is kind of makes it worse, like he finally started to have like his like moments in multiple episodes, like consistently. And I was like, yes, we finally have the loyal from the books that we really love. And then it's gone. So I totally get it.
Yeah. I did see this comment earlier, and it is. I think it's cat's going. Sorry. Kind of like just get a cat butt. I think it's it's not fitting, but I can see the. I know. I've got it on screen. We'll talk about it. It is a kind of like a nod to RJ not being able to finish his books. Loyal's not able to finish his books.
That makes me sad.
It is. Yeah, it does make you sad. I did see people talking about that, and it's like that is a thought that can make you sad. Is the thought that can be like, okay, here's also like, because Loyal's kind of, let's just say he's our storyteller in the books, and obviously RJ was writing the books. He's the storyteller, really, and it's like a connection that's also a sad, but I don't know the appropriate word there, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a good parallel.
Serendipity.
Yeah, it's a good parallel, serendipity. Yeah, so, but yeah.
Also,
so big picture there, folks. We understand if you're very upset about the Loyal thing and your feelings are valid. Whether you can, whether it works for you in the show world, or whether it like completely ruins it for you. Like either way, like we understand. So don't feel like you can't still be around and still be part of the space.
Yeah, I think you should absolutely talk about it. And talk about it with people you trust to like support you through that pain, right? Because it's. I mean, Loyal is almost, as a character, he's the stand-in for people who love books, right? And so, like every single person who read these books, like connects with Loyal because he's you, right? Like you wouldn't dive into these like weighty tomes if there wasn't a part of you that was a little bit loyal and a little bit not so good at like not being able to not talk about the Wheel of Time in inappropriate situations,
talking about it all the time.
Yeah,
I do the work all the time.
I don't know what you're talking about, Mel. I have
cannot
no idea.
stop in mixed company or at work.
Literally, my best friend at work today when I was leaving was literally just like, Rob, I can't wait to go home and finish watching. Just finished watching more Wheel of Time today, because they've started watching and they're on season 2, and they were just like, oh my god. So I literally talk about it at work all the time. So
when he hums the Melindhra song at the very end,
Did you see this comment from Matt Murdock?
Yes, there is
Yes.
the Heroes of the Horn playing in the background too.
Yeah. And it's
Maybe
so
he'll come back.
yeah, but who knows when they're going to blow the horn again? Like if they do it like in the show, in the books, it won't be until
This
the
is-
That
last
could be next
season.
season
Okay,
by now, Rob.
This is what I want to happen. I want him to like Spider-Man land in like season 7, like on a platform. Wait, like he's just been falling for like 4 seasons,
Right.
and then he just like Spider-Man lands.
That's my theory, that he will continue falling, and then Rand learns how to skim, and like
It just catches him randomly one day.
like the whole Raven
Tavarin, man.
when they're
Tavarin.
fighting and they're skimming and
Yeah.
there and then he's like just bumps into Loyal and he's like, "Hey buddy, catch!" And he's like, "Come on, let's go!" Like that's like my headcanon for this possibility, which I'm sure probably won't happen, but I like to think about it as a possibility.
That could be fun. I like that. Meg saying he's definitely a hero. It brings us back to the speech you gave in 2-8 about being the heroes of this age.
Yes,
Yeah, that's fair.
You mean when he calls them on their shit at the end of the episode? He's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
"Let's
Yeah.
go."
Get to it. Let's get to it. Get out of
Yeah.
your head.
No. Oh my god. That's
Big
so
damn
funny.
heroes.
So yeah. Okay. Next.
Any other honorary Stone Dogs?
We haven't really seen any more in.
Okay.
Well, there is kind of one. It's like a crossover one. Stone Dog and Stabbiest. Valda being torched, but not suffering.
Okay. Yeah, I get you. That was too quick for my taste. Okay, I'll start you off. I'll start off the stabbiest moment with that.
Okay.
Valda being torched.
Throw in your stabby comments now, people. That's what we want to see. Okay.
Love it.
Yeah, Rob, what was your stabbiest?
My stabbiest moment is more like a blunt force trauma moment, and it's just Perrin with his hammer. But I mean, also the axe. But when he's dual wielding, it's just like you've seen like the recordings of Endgame when
when he's got both of them.
Yeah, and Steve Rogers is finally people are screaming that, and he's finally like saying, "Yes, I can carry money." It was just like, and people are just yelling in the cinema. That was me in that moment, completely lost, not at all thinking about the fact I'm recording myself, growling, yelling at the top of my voice in excitement. Like, yeah, that was absolutely what I was doing in that moment. So it was a visceral reaction for me when he picked up that and dual wielded. I was just, I don't know, I think I kind of peaked for me.
That's probably my favorite, one of my favorite Marvel comments too, or quotes. "I knew it." That's what Thor said. "I knew it." We're big Captain America fans over here, and Thor fans, but I love that moment in that movie. So yes, I get you what you're saying. Like, it's like, oh my gosh, yes, do it, Perrin.
Yeah.
Tell me what you got. What do I do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mel?
Can I do mine?
Yes.
Because I don't understand how she keeps surviving it, but Alana getting like not like crossbow bolt. Like, what's the other thing? Like with the big artillery thing with the giant bolts. Like she has giant bolt through her whole body. What are those called? They're called something when they're huge.
Yes.
Anyway, but yes, again, Alana stabbed through the heart again.
Sorry,
and just writhing in pain again.
That was actually remember I said I had 2
ballista.
Stone Dog moments?
Thank you. Ballista.
Yes.
It was the ballista. Also, where was the ballista? I did not see them rolling ballista down from the waygate.
I mean, there was no attacking from that other than those arrows, those things being shot in that moment. So there was no, there was undefended rear entrance, I suppose.
Backdoor entry.
Yes.
Okay, so remember I said I had 2 Stone Dog moments for the same person. I forgot to put that at the end. The 50th fake death of Alana at this episode. Like, I'm so done with it. Like, you know what? I'm gonna be really happy. No offense, Priyanka, because I love you so much. But
She's
when
pincushions to die.
when she dies, I'm gonna be excited because I'm so tired of this. Like, oh, and the little Bode girl or Bode and his sister are just gonna make me 100% better. And like, oh, all of a sudden now I've just got stabbed with like it was like this wide through her chest. Oh, I'm fine. Like, I'm done with it. Like, just kill her off or don't spear her anymore. Like, I'm tired of seeing her getting speared. One, I don't like seeing women getting speared a lot, and I don't want to see it repeatedly.
Sometimes I like seeing women getting speared.
Well, maybe different. Maybe a different kind of spear. But like, I'm done with it. Like, I'm done.
I wish I'd
kill
been faster with the comments because I would have put up something like this to that comment.
My baby girl.
Yeah.
Maybe after Mel's comments, we
I need a moment.
Just
a lot of
laughing
the
at
holiest.
this.
Oh God, the holiest of Sedai.
I still love Pincushion Sedai. Thank you, brother.
Yeah,
That's right.
Pincushion Sedai was great. So, all right, let's go through the chat. Mel is being a superstar and starring them for me. So there's a few of these. So consider yourselves all marked if you have put this in chat.
Okay,
But ice arrows, ice knives, ice daggers, whatever you want to call them.
Ice daggers for sure.
Ice daggers, yeah, definitely up there.
Love it. I love that the one that was in the neck and the neck was like splurting blood.
Spurting?
I was
Yeah.
like, yes,
Yeah.
make it bloody.
I really enjoyed the ice spears,
Yeah,
knives,
It's better than lightning.
spear tips. Yep.
much better than lightning. Yeah, because
So much
lightning and
better.
fireballs, they're kind of like, okay, that's what you get.
Yeah.
From this guy. Yeah.
What was
Lady
the
doth
shade?
Throw
Was
fireballs.
it this episode or the one before? Was it the coffin girls that were like giving Moraine shade for just like doing fireballs? And they're like, oh, it must have been this one. Like, oh, this is cool. I was like,
No,
hey,
no,
now.
they were like fangirling about Moraine doing fireballs.
Yeah, they were like,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
and then they
shade.
said that Alana's ice daggers were better than
Yeah.
lightning.
Yeah. Fun sort of thing there. I was watching an article last week before maybe, about the guy who plays Reacher, and from how I didn't realize, but he was in the second Hunger Games movie playing one of the careers.
Yeah.
And in it, when he dies, he's shot by Katniss using a bow and arrow. And they told him as he's recording that he was going to get shot in the head. So that's how he filmed his reaction. And in the movie, when they were doing post-production and they're putting in the arrow, because obviously they didn't, he was, topless in that scene. They actually had the arrow shoot him in the chest. And he's like, nobody told me that. And I didn't play it like that. And they didn't get me to refilm it after, they changed their minds. So I get shot in the chest and I react by my head flicking backwards. I appreciate that they did not change that dark friend got stabbed in the side of the neck and died that way. Like I did. Yeah. I appreciate, that, because otherwise her reaction would have been weird if she'd been like, just knocked down or something. So yeah, I appreciated they stuck with the gore. So
did she get knocked down and then got up again?
She didn't.
I think she might have. She didn't get up. No,
she didn't. She was definitely
knocked down.
Gotten down.
And with this one, I feel like we've got a few for this category, but I feel like this is the best one in terms of just a fun way of naming it. The Furious Fael stabbing, which I think links into Kill the Ones I Miss. I think that's sort of like they're kind of linked to those ones. So
yeah, the Not Fael's mom slash is pretty good.
The what?
Yes. Which again, someone else put in.
Wait, I'm confused. What does that mean?
So we did think there was speculation that the dark friend that's on the ridge with Padden Fane before he turns up as White Cloaks was going to be Fael's mom. It turns out she was.
Yeah. That's Shane, right?
Shane, she ain't Bane lashing her throat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Multiple people talked about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I did not know that people thought that might be her mom.
Yeah, that was kind of like the speculation around it.
I
so,
have been not paying attention to what's happening out there too much.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
I have,
Oh.
on relation to that, mine is just sort of the interplay, like the Batman and Robin of Perrin and Fael together. Like it was, it was very similar to the Moraine and Lan, like first episode fight with the Trollocs. How, he would duck, spears would come by, she'd shoot, whatever she's doing. And like, it was like a very beautiful moment of great choreography. Like it's great. Like, and so she's just like, kind of like, not that she would ever say she's a sidekick, so I don't want to say that she's like a Robin sidekick, but I just love that. So to me,
they fought in a very complimentary manner.
Yeah.
There was good teamwork between the two of them.
Yeah.
There was really good teamwork.
Yeah.
That's
and I have to say it was very satisfying for me because obviously, he is like, I need to protect you. That is one of Perrin's short-sighted traits that comes from a good place, but is not actually, a great thing when you really sort of talk about it and expand on it. So, when he goes to, dual wielding and he's just like, right, okay, I'm actually going to, I have to embrace this right now. And he's like, get behind me. And she goes, stop trying to, fucking protect me.
Protect me, yeah.
And he knows in that moment and understands and accepts. And it's just like, kill the ones I miss. That's why you need to be behind me. So you need to guard my back, sort of thing. Like, you're my equal. I need to, I trust you. Be there. Clean up the.
Yeah. She gets it at that point.
Yeah.
He's not talking down to her.
Like, yeah, he's not. He's like, you're my equal. That's where I need you to be while I'm doing this. And that way we're going to be an effective team. And I was like, that was a growth moment for Perrin, for me. And I fucking love that.
I'm really, really, really glad that we just we don't have to wallow through that. So.
Yeah.
Because he could have just been like, said that, kill the ones I miss, or like, cover my,
or just get behind me, and then we would have thought he's like Perrin from the books that's always protecting.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like by repeating the line of like, stay behind me or protecting people, think like he did with Avienda in the second season. It shows the growth of his understanding of him and Fael in particular in that moment, and I was just like, yes.
Yeah, so, Avi was good for him.
Yeah, definitely. So, clotheslines from the women's circle. Women's circle literally clotheslining a Trolloc to get them in stabbing range.
Okay, hold on. Leave that up there. Sorry.
Lots of good stabbing moments from the chat. Thank you, Goldies, for coming in hot with the the real important parts, the real important themes of the show. How are we gonna rank? Oh my god. I don't even know how we're going to do the stabby rankings.
I think we're going to have to take episodes each. With the
we'll have to narrow them down, like top 2 or something of each episode.
Well, I think
I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll have to think. We'll have to talk about
polls. We'll have to do polls.
We'll have to do polls.
We always do polls. It's always polls.
We could just do a series like if it's the hardest one, like, for example, this episode, we could just do a breakdown of this episode in polls. Like, where does this rank? We'll just like, or we'll do forms.
It's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot.
It's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot.
Loyal stabbing going on.
Loyal killing the Trollocs with Bane and Sheads. What a fucking trio they were.
Amazing.
Absolutely incredible. Verbal stab now.
The running.
And the running,
right.
Yeah. Verbal stab here from Tarasins. Fael throwing Leigh-A in Perrin's face during their arguments.
Good.
Which I was just like, yes.
Well
and they were fighting in the forge at one point. I was
They were.
There's trauma right now.
True.
Yeah. Janet's, I think we've already got this with the clotheslining, but women's circle killing Trollocs by teamwork. Yeah.
Yeah.
Days Conga's last stand.
That's the stabbiest moment, like her getting stabbed.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. She got stabbed in it.
Yeah, she got stabbed too.
Yeah. So, I think we could just put this as that we can just acknowledge this. I don't think it needs to go on the list, but the sheer number of killings on both sides was just very stabby and impressive.
A lot of stabby.
Yeah.
It was really hard to because they had a lot of dark friends, so to know who was the dark friend and who was a Two Rivers person.
Yes.
I think it captured that battle chaos very well
Oh, they did.
from
Yeah.
that perspective.
Yeah. Fael's stabbity stab.
So good.
Is that auto corrected to stability?
Oh no, I think I just typed it. Stability.
Oh, right,
That's
okay.
my fault. Sorry.
No, I'm sure you typed stabbity and then it changed to stability.
No, I think just because I don't. That's not a real word. So
It's not a real word. Yeah.
I just put stability on like muscle memory.
That's fair. And the last one from Number Garden, I've got some comments to catch up on. Just I'll check those now. The girls not being able to heal the ending for Mum, which was that was pretty epic, I have to say. So let me just scroll up and see if I've missed any. I stab you, fails. Yeah, ice baby. That's fun. I love it.
Oh, here I think we've got a couple duplicates, so we'll just.
Yeah,
Fael can be on there more than one.
Yeah, I just put it on one line to keep some space. That's all.
Love it.
Got it. Anything else?
No, I think I feel like I don't see any others in there that we haven't already got. So yeah, thank you. Lots of great stabby moments there. In fact, so many good stabby moments. I think we need to just play let's acknowledge the stabby moments by playing the number 10 stab on the stabometer.
Oh yeah, there we go. No capes.
No capes.
No capes.
All right, now folks, to round out our chart,
oh
we need
man,
to tell us the best bonkers banana moments for you.
Can I go first?
Absolutely,
yes.
Mel.
Do it.
I love the Cawthon girls torching Valda. That was like fantastic. I did not expect that to happen. But the poor mother. Oh man, I was like, yeah. I was cheering my head off for them.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever said yes so vehemently as when I saw him burning alive.
Yeah.
Which kudos to the writing and to the actor for making us feel so viscerally horrible just at that character, like just the way we feel about him. It's like
he's horrible.
Mm-hmm.
He might be the worst person. Maybe, I don't know. Moggy's kind of up there, but I even think like Valda just not even being a dark front. He's just a bad human.
Yes.
Like that's gross.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was pretty awesome. I would also like to throw the dual wielding into the best bonkers moment as well, because it was, but not just the dual wielding. I want to like parent dual wielding with Fael flipping with him, like the whole the two of them in unison.
So my stabbiest moment.
Yeah.
The dual.
Actually,
the fighting, Perrin and Fael fighting.
The dual. Perrin and Fael dual fighting.
Yeah.
That's probably the way we write it. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
How about you, Beast? What's yours?
You know what's so funny is that I was clicking on the screen in front of me, which is the StreamYard screen, not my screen.
Do you know what? It takes a lot of muscle memory to not. Sometimes I still do that, and I'm just like,
okay.
Oh wait, that's because that's the
why
StreamYard
is
screen.
it not working?
It's hard.
Well, I'll say mine. Mine was just the most bonkers moment was acknowledging Dave's good channel, and then her shielding as best as she could without any training or support, like protecting as many as she could. Like to me, that was my favorite.
She's the best
bonkers moment. So
I love it. I also love that she wasn't perfect at it. I love that like her shield was like not completely solid, and it wasn't like it wasn't like perfectly like it wasn't naive like super healing. It was and
agreed.
Yeah, it's great.
And she goes down fighting.
Yeah. And actually, you can actually hear her scream when she starts being like, get her to safety or something like that. Is what she yells.
Yeah,
You know,
that's what she said.
so yeah.
She shouldn't have been worried because Alana just got stabbed. I'm sure she would have come back. She could have just like continued on with her day.
Yeah. Freaking love Days Conger. Oh, I'm so
Yeah.
glad that she got back in. Like they brought
Yeah.
her back. So
Yeah.
glad.
Me too.
Yeah. As Norman
They
Garden said,
didn't have
powerful.
to. Like
not
they
experienced
did
yet.
not have to. You know, that's what's so great is like she was unnecessary until I don't know. I feel
Yeah.
like the fandom had something to do with that because of how much we loved her
So
in
true.
season 1.
Yes. I feel there were a few things in this episode that were kind of put in because of the fans.
I think that might
Yeah.
be true.
I think
Yeah.
so. Which I'm not
Uh,
mad at. As long
no,
as
I-
it's not too over the top or
Yeah, too over the top or
too
like,
much.
you know, sort of gratuitous in nature,
Yeah.
which is
I
how,
don't-
you know, when they're like put in for the sake of being put in, and you're just
Yeah.
like, if
I don't want
it's put in because it works within the scene or the storytelling for that episode, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. But yeah, no McGunn, Alana getting stabbed / shot is going to become book Tom honest. She just keeps going.
Yeah,
Pretty
that's
great.
true.
I love it. Okay.
That's great.
Anyway, No McGunn says bonkers moment, just the whole episode.
Best episode yet.
And Mel 2.0 says parent leading the two rivers in the song of Melindhra.
We may have to play that one more time tonight.
Oh, we are gonna have to play that one more time for sure.
Mhm.
That was so good. What we need that played in it. We need to do that in its full.
Yeah.
Oliver is saying Loyal's Gandalf moment.
Oh,
Yeah. Pretty
Yeah.
great.
That was pretty good.
you shall not pass.
Yeah. And Janet comes in with Alana still being alive.
Right.
It's valid. It's valid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So true.
And Iris comes in. Waygate Islands can break. I want to sort of like add on to that a little bit. The
Mhm.
explosion of the Waygate from the outside as well. That
Wow.
was
Yeah,
fun,
that
wasn't
was
it?
really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I mean, I was down for. I was like, absolutely. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, I
But
would
yeah.
think that the Waygate would have, like, the door would have stopped it from coming out, but who knows?
Oh God, Norman Garden coming in strong now with this. Does anyone know where the table reading is with the other verse of Weep? But like, firstly, can we also just acknowledge that at the table read for episode 7, they must have all just been singing it round the table together.
Wow. I didn't
They
know
probably
there was
cried.
I didn't know there was a table read with another verse.
I mean, they
Is it
always
with
do
a
table.
verse?
Well, I don't know if there's other verses. I feel like there should be other verses, but just like the table read with that in general would have been amazing. So
Yeah.
You think
Yeah.
sometimes they just call each other up and they're like, "Yo, Yosha, sing for a minute." And they just like hang up, and be like, "Gotcha."
Is this going to be like that Brady Bunch style video? But they'll
Right,
just keep
right.
calling each other, you know. And he's like, hold on, keep doing it, right? Priyanka, you know. Rosamund.
Yeah.
Someone's like, get fucking Kira on the phone. She can sing, you know.
What is it? There's like some joke where like if you make your friend look at like some sort of hand signal, they lose.
The
So you're like
game.
trying to like
Oh yeah,
it's some sort of game. So I
yeah,
wonder
I
if
know
like
that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Except they did it with Weep.
I'm gonna call it now that in like the last battle, whatever season we get that, we're gonna get that Melindhra song again, but it's gonna be like the whole little band singing,
Ooh.
the band of the Red
Okay.
Hand,
Yeah.
or maybe Perrin's band, whatever.
Parents' whole army.
Yeah, I would like it. Yeah, Perrin's army starts singing it, and then it
Yeah.
just sort of spreads.
Spreads. Yep,
You know.
we're
And it's just
calling
like,
it right
you know,
now.
Yes, that would be. Ooh, yeah.
I because of the origin of that song,
Hmm.
I want that to happen. Like, I want that thrown in the Aes Sedai's face. I want
screw
the
those
Parents'
bitches.
Army to like sing that in defiance at the Aes Sedai for doing something dumb. Because Elida, she's gonna do something dumb, even though we love her and I love you, short. You're amazing, and I would never say anything bad about you whatsoever. But Elida's gonna fuck up at some point, and I want the Two Rivers to be there and just like punch her in the face.
I'll take that song every time, anytime and every time.
Yeah, it was something. I loved I loved the Fail and Maxim, are just watching as they all sing. And also full credit to Dave Hill for not writing some dumb parent speech in there.
Yeah.
Because I was
worried. I was a little worried for us. Like, this is not looking good.
He turned around and he's walking over and he's going to be like, I got to lead.
I got to rev up the crowd.
Yeah. And I'm like, in my heart, I was like, hopefully it didn't show on my face, but in my heart, I was just like, it's going to be some dumb speech now that he's not going to land. And it's just going to be like, and then he just that instead. And I was like,
that was a good choice.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So I will say, I think that the Perrin Dane initial confrontation, I thought the things that Perrin said in that were very well written.
Yeah,
I thought that confrontation was fantastic, and maybe mostly for the palpable relief I felt that we were not going to have to deal with Perrin being Perrin for 87 seasons,
Right.
So that was probably part of it, but I was just like, oh man, Perrin growth. We're just like speeding up Perrin growth so much, and I'm here for it 100%.
Yes, I am down for it as well. I fully acknowledge the things that don't that infuriate people with Perrin's character, and how long it takes him to get somewhere. It's very much how he's written, and it's very much in the books. But I love that the show is taking the opportunity to speed that growth along. And he's not there. He's not fully there. But there's so many moments now where it's like, you know what? You're getting it here. You're getting it there. You're understanding here. Look at that growth there. And it's like, yes, him, the line of that was you acting in your grief. And that was me acting in my grief,
Yeah.
Just he's not. There's no
good.
blame. There's no blame being thrown there.
And then he just straight up apologizes. He's
it's acceptance. Yeah, it's acceptance of your actions.
So good. It's so well done.
In that moment where grief consumed you and you behaved as you did. It's not like here's my excuse. It was like this was where I was emotionally, and it's the reason I behaved that way. It's not right, and I apologize for it, and I was like, oof, what maturity in that.
I will just say though, one little tiny irksome thing.
Okay, that's fine.
Everyone seems to have forgot about the wolves. Where are they? I know they killed a whole bunch in previous episodes, so they're probably hiding away that are still alive, but the whole wolf, right before the battle, when he looks out with his wolf eyes and is like, oh, there they are, you hear the Trollocs screaming, and I was like, do I hear any wolves in there? Please give me just some howling. Give me some howling. Acknowledge that Perrin still has this gift. I feel because of course he's he doesn't explain, because who would believe him that, well, I killed your dad because I was in a rage because my best friend, who's a wolf, by the way, got killed. So I get that he wouldn't say that, but it's there's no, they just disappeared from this season. It makes me sad. I'm sure they'll explain it if we get to, they'll have more when we get to future seasons, but it still feels like a gap of a whole season.
It does feel, I agree, it feels like a gap. I appreciate that they paid homage to it with the dead wolves in the White Cloak.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Yep.
I feel like what they've done is made Perrin deal with his personal bullshit so that he can then struggle with his the next struggle for him is learning to control the wolf side, right?
Yeah, I guess.
So I feel like we don't need both of those struggles like layered on top of
I
each
didn't
other.
need them
so
in
they
the
could bring it
battle.
back.
I just
but they
needed like
weren't.
him to hear them as he's traveled like on a boat. He's gone from Falm to Tarvalon, back to the Two Rivers. Like, even if we just heard him hearing things, like
Yeah.
acknowledging that he could hear them, even if they were hundreds of miles away or whatever, like it would have
Yeah.
connected that special gift of his. Like, I didn't need him to
But
fight in the
it's
battle,
not.
but like,
It's not. It. I mean, yeah. There's no wolves in this. In the Battle of the Two Rivers.
no,
There.
I
It's
just,
only in his Slayer connection there, which I still think
Yeah.
they've given to Padden Thane. I think the Luke character was a red herring, and I think it's Padden Thane. I don't like just a random little hero wolf moment of recognition from pairing. Wouldn't have served anything in this season because he's not doing anything with the wolves in this season.
yeah, I guess I just in the books I would like imagine him always like having to turn it off
Yeah,
because it's always there. Like he can
Mhm.
hear them, like wherever he is, he can hear them. And so like to me that's like Rand talking to Luz, right? Like you've got this like obviously it's hard to show in a TV show, but
yeah,
like acknowledging that there's still this connection and he's just not ready for it yet is okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I
I
feel
hear
like
you.
that like is just missing a little bit. One little arc. It's not a major deal, but I feel like it's a shame we didn't get any of that in 7 episodes. So,
Mm.
and I cried when I saw those wolf heads. Damn it.
yeah. That was sad. So,
That was really sad. All right, I digress. Any
no, that's
more
fine. We
bonkers?
did digress. So we do have a couple from chat. Always is putting in Max and Tolana. We're all gonna die. And then when she's like, "Hey, like you never know," blah blah, and it's just like, "Okay, fine. I hope that makes you feel better because we're all gonna die." He really does not like Turnip Mountain.
I just really
No.
like that Maxim's a huge dork. That's what
He's
I
a
like.
total dork.
I love
And also, Iris says Alana calling Maxim a bitch
it.
for not sharing the fig. The snack man did not share his snacks. So
You don't get another calendar for that, Max.
yes, no more calendars.
You
for
have
that.
to share snacks in order to be a snack order.
Mhm.
Oh god. Any other bonkers moments? Do you know what? I actually want to put in about another bonkers moment.
Yes, do it.
It was like the unintentional, and I'm gonna like say it, and then we can like find a way to like put it in a sentence, I think. But
Okay.
the whole double cross that was unintentional double cross by Dane because of Thane, where the White Cloaks turn up and be like, "All right, fine, we've come to do your deal and such," and he's just like, "How'd you get through the pass?" It's like,
Right.
it's what do you mean? Like, it's fine. It's just like, no. And then Padden Thane walks in and it's just like, no.
Mhm.
So yeah, it was kind of bonkers because that really negates all of the, they show up and they're fighting against the walls and they got to break down the door to get inside the village and blah, blah, blah. Like really, it just took the danger straight up to 11 in an
Yeah.
already
Right.
dangerous situation.
When like
So-
Perrin looks at him, he's like, "Thane's a dark friend, you idiot," and he says something like, "How did you not know?" or something like
Yeah,
that.
no, yeah, 'cause he's like, "I'm sorry, I didn't know," and he's like, "You should have."
You should
Yeah.
have, yeah. That's what
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
If you weren't drunk grieving for so
Yes.
long.
Oh my god! If you
Yeah.
put a shirt on, maybe you could have. No, don't
Yeah.
put a shirt on.
No,
Dave.
no, yeah, no, I
You're
love
good.
that. That's a good bonkers.
yeah, okay, so like Thane,
Padden Thane double crossing.
yeah, Thane,
battle-
Thane, yeah,
battle
Thane crossing
begins,
Dane
yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, we knew that Padden Thane was going to do that, but the way that they showed it was
Yeah,
pretty
the way
fantastic.
it worked out in the episode was just like, oh my god, we're immediately straight inside fighting and blah blah. No one's
Yeah.
actually ready because we're like, oh, the White Cloaks have turned up.
Yeah,
We're okay,
yeah.
like
I mean,
yeah,
they showed up covered in blood and they didn't ask any more questions. Like, good white folks make sure they switch out their uniforms after they get all bloody like that.
Yeah, I can
Like,
understand Dane not figuring it out because he was tossed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Valda.
Valda not knowing it made me sus that Valda was
Not a very
actually
good
dark friend.
questioner.
No, he wasn't questioning anything in that
Made me
scene.
think that Valda was actually a dark friend.
I still, to this day, and we're never going to get an answer, I don't think, but like, I still, how in episode, what is that?
White
Season
Cloak's
one
the Trojan
episode,
horse. Yes, thank you, Terracin. Sorry, carry on.
when he's with Eggy, right, in the first season, and he like can tell when she's channeling, and we always like guess like, is he wearing like a wolf medallion or something that he could feel? And like even in the episode where Alana gets stabbed multiple times and survives, you know, he's like, he sees the fog and he's like, that's channeling. Well, I mean, technically, I guess you could guess that, but it just looked like fog, like. So, like, could he see weave somehow? And he had some sort of Drongriel or something?
I mean,
like,
he looked at the girls and they hadn't actually done anything. It was like, oh, it was you.
It was you. Yeah.
So,
like,
yeah, maybe he had something that allowed him to see weaves.
But, like, we never will probably figure that out.
Yeah.
But anyway. That
It's
was,
okay.
like,
we don't need the
like,
answers to everything.
We don't. I do, Mel. I need it to. What else? Any more bonkers bananas moments?
I mean, I think it's just good that we have things to talk about when
So
the show
do.
is waiting for season 4.
Yeah, while we're waiting for the renewal announcement.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Exactly. Oh man.
Anything else? Nothing else?
There's nothing else in chat. Let me just. There's one star.
No, I think
that's everything. Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah. I will say that I really enjoyed. There were some good comedic moments in this episode, as well as obviously a lot of serious and battle stuff. You know,
I'm never gonna get over Sheep Tutor. I'm never.
Yeah, Sheep Tutor. With Matt's sisters. The bit between just Sembui and Maxim, just their whole bit, you know, is just great. The two of them. That was a fun dynamic.
No, you hold the line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, Two Rivers pose, okay, you know. It's just like, yeah, you know, that was yeah. And then Maxim turning up and being like, we've got stewed turnips or we got figs, and be like, aha, there you go, and it's turnips. You know, yeah. You know, lots of good fun moments in this what is a very serious episode, really.
Yeah, I will just throw my appreciation out to the show and everyone who puts everything into it. I think the show is best when we get these. I'm not saying every episode has to be one storyline, but you can tell how much people get into it when we get more of something. Like 20 minutes on 90's accepted third arch, right? You know, a full Rand episode, a full Perrin episode.
Yeah.
To me, is way more impactful than like blink, 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 blink. Like, and all that says to me is that obviously we've had to compact everything into so little episodes. Like, that we could have had episodes like this more often if we had more episodes.
Yeah, if we had 10 episodes.
You know what I mean? Like 10 to 12, like we could have had 20-minute shots like this where we just stick to one storyline. We can grow those characters. And I appreciate that they did that this season. I hope it pays off and maybe they go, you know what? The story's gonna get even more intricate as we move forward. Maybe we should give them 10 or 12 episodes. You know, like, let's think about that. There's no reason a streaming service has to do 8. That's dumb.
Netflix started it, and everyone else was like, "Yeah, that works." And,
yeah, sure.
So
I have another favorite show that did 6 episodes, and their third season they moved to 8 because they're like, we want more. And so, like, it's not like you have to do that. You don't have to keep it going. You can change it.
Absolutely. In fact, my complaint with the Kenobi series, which was 6 episodes, my complaint with that was, you know, Obi-Wan went from, you know, the end of one episode being like, I can't do anything with the Force because I have so much trauma, to not even half an episode later, I am ultimate power and fully ranked and all that sort of stuff. And I'm like, hold up. Like,
how did we get there?
a flight and a conversation ago and 20 minutes of viewing, you couldn't even light a candle with the Force. Like, what's going on, dude? So, you know,
I forgot that series even existed, to be honest.
Yeah, I was. This was, it was not great for me, if I'm honest. But yeah, like a lack of showtime can sometimes really impact. And the more complex a story, I feel the more time you have to give it. Really.
I've definitely been. Sorry, go ahead.
No, just you go. You go.
I was going to say, I've definitely been thinking about, especially after I thought about it after episode 4, and I thought about it again after kind of knowing this episode was coming. I was like, would I like a season where it's like we just get one episode that touches on each character's path? Like, would I like it as much? And maybe yes. Like, maybe, like you have a bookend episode at the beginning and a bookend episode at the end, and then you like really deep dive into what's going on with each of the characters. Take that POV chapter thing and just go. I don't know. I think with the way that the business works, it doesn't work. Honestly, like you need to give your leads like more episodes, credit or whatever. But gosh. Yeah,
I think we got
these long form visits in these worlds are so juicy, and so
they are very juicy, yeah,
and they're so much better written.
Yeah, and also like I don't know if anybody else knows, but like the main characters of this story are not some of the characters that have got a lot longer exposition. So having Rand and Perrin and Nynaeve have that 20 minutes even like. And Egwene having that, what was that, episode 6 or whatever of last season, like having that, whole Damane like episode, like that's powerful. They're our main characters, and they should get these moments. And we have not had that connection with those characters enough because they don't get them. Like we appreciate them, but like now they're showing us who they are, not just saying, parents of Taverin, what does that mean? I don't know. Like they're just doing it.
Yeah.
And that's really important. They're the main characters. Sorry, Leandrin and Lanfear, you're not the main characters. I love you, but you're not. So
yeah, I think we got lucky this season in particular. Like, I don't think you could have done the visions any other way if you wanted to tell the story right. Because if you had been chopping into other characters places, then the visions would have had to been like cut in number and cut in time, and it just
would not have been impactful.
It wouldn't have worked. And I think we're lucky to get a episode that is solely Perrin.
Yeah.
Because even the Rand episode still had time for Avienda and Rosamund. It had build up time, and it had a snippet at the end where it was Lan and Egwene. So it's still, this was 100% Battle of the Two Rivers. That's what we're going to talk about.
I honestly didn't think it was going to be 100%.
No.
I thought they would throw in a couple little things, like not in the middle, but like at the beginning and end.
Yeah, I thought the cold open. Yeah, I thought the cold open would be about something else, and there would be, like it's going to happen tonight, and then we'd flash over to like some crap in Tanchico, of like, what do you mean you've lost the bracelet? What how much did you drink? Or something like that. You know, and it was just the entire. And I think we were so lucky that they decided to do it like a finale episode in essence.
Yeah.
On one storyline. But there is also, when I think about it, the probably the other side of that, if you start doing much longer chunks for main characters, where do you draw that line of who gets those big chunks? And like you say, like people being in multiple episodes and stuff like that, and then you get complaints of like, well, I want that for Lanfear, and I think we should get that for Megideon, and I think we should get that for Lan, and I think we should get that for just regular Aiel, not Rand's moments with the Aiel. And, like what characters do you cut that off? I think that's an argument that fans could fall into that trap quite easily.
Well, luckily,
I mean,
2000 some
Yes,
characters.
there's
It's
only
fine.
2,000 characters.
We've
so it's
already had those kind of debates. Like we had them in season
Yeah.
1 with the whole
Yeah.
step in thing. So
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, we will not be short on things to debate about.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But I really appreciate this.
Oh yeah, I'm
Yeah.
so
I'm
grateful
so
that
appreciative. Yeah.
that this was the episode it was, and they've done longer segments for characters this season. It does,
Mhm.
you know,
Yep.
as long as it's the balance after the episode is always the concern. Because if you do one episode that's one story and one set of characters in one place and one thing, you know, and then the next one is like here and there and here and there and here and there, you're just like, well, I just spent an hour in one place, and now I'm spending a couple of minutes here, a couple minutes there, a couple minutes here, a couple minutes there. Like it's jarring.
I do kind of like the 3 like the quarter drops that a lot of shows are doing, where it's like 3 episodes and it's kind of like a contained story, and then we drop 3 more episodes and it's like a contained story, where you can do that kind of stuff. I find that kind of cool, because then you don't feel like that longer moment is taking anything away, because those 3 episodes are kind of tied together.
Almost like how they're doing the directors, like they do 2 episodes apiece.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know
okay,
if they're
yeah.
always the same directors, but it's like just the same. Like they're dropping them at one time each to kind of keep them cohesive, right?
I see.
That's
Yeah,
kind of neat.
interesting.
Well, before we go,
Yes.
I just want to ask, because I'm already excited for next week. How are you all feeling about next week? Are you excited? I know you guys haven't watched the preview, so we won't talk about that. So don't anybody talk about it in the chat.
I did. I accidentally, kind of on purpose, was like, okay, I feel like I can watch this preview.
Okay. Well,
And
I skipped the preview.
Okay.
I wanted to see what they said, you know, how the cast talk afterwards.
Yeah.
I wanted to see that. So I queued up the preview without letting it play. And then I just, in the bottom, just went until it was just Rafe and Marcus. And I just then watched that bit.
Yeah.
And I caught like the last 1 or 2 seconds of the preview type thing. So I haven't seen that. So
Noman Garden says, I have no idea how everything will fit in the next episode. Yes. Like, it's 68 minutes, which great. So it's a little bit longer, but I'll just say there's some bonkers bananas business going on in that preview, and I'm gonna be shocked, and I'm super excited about it. So I'm very excited to share this with all of you next week.
Yeah. My initial gut to next week is we will not get answers to probably a fair chunk of things. I think there's going to be a lot of things left open, a lot of things left unanswered, a lot of new questions.
Yay! I love questions.
Yeah. I do not think that they are going to be wrapping very much up at all. I think there's going to be a lot left open or vague. And that will probably frustrate a lot of people. But, you know, yeah. But, you know, like you say, we like Loman Gardens and chat, I don't know how they're going to fit everything into next episode. But as fans, we want them to wrap everything up, you know, so that, you know, next season starts fresh type thing.
I like that. When they don't. I want the cliffhangers.
So I think there'll be a lot of, not like, you know, always like the big cliffhanger things, but like there'll be stuff that's just not explained.
Do you think which if it happens, which Forsaken do you think we're going to see next episode? If they reveal one more, who do you think? If we reveal, because we get a reveal every season so far in episode.
You go first,
right?
Do you know what? I would love it if it was Asmodean, but for the last 2 episodes, have been thinking that Asmodean is not going to get revealed. The 8th Forsaken, who I think will be Asmodean, will not get revealed in this season. That's been my gut reaction now for this episode and last episode.
Because Rafe did say they're in the show. There's some in the show now that we don't know.
Yes, I still think the 8th one is Asmodean, and it's Matt Samira, the guy in the hat. That is my money's been there since I saw him in the photos before.
Yes, you are betting on this.
I am betting hard on that, everybody.
But not in episode 8. So if it's not Asmodean, do you think we're going to get someone else?
My money is on Grendel. That's what my money is on. Now, I think it'd be funny if Grendel was Savannah, Doesn't have to be. I'm not going to be upset if that. Savannah can just be Savannah. I'm not going to be I'm not going to be like, oh, but I think it would be funny. But yeah, I think Grendel will reveal in episode 8. And obviously the Moggy showdown. So if we're talking big Forsaken moments, not necessarily the full-on fight between her and Nynaeve, but like a showdown of some kind between her and Nynaeve.
Nah, I
think it's going to be
so
the fight
bad.
regardless.
They
gotta give the audience a little more Nynaeve, and if she doesn't break her block early, it's got to be something big, because we've been hanging on to like sad Nynaeve since episode 207, pretty much. Like, it's time for her to get some power.
It was 203, right, when she went through the arches.
Oh right, yeah.
Since then,
yeah, you're right. 203.
Yeah,
that's a long time.
It's a long time.
She needs a moment.
That's true.
Some moment. Doesn't have to be the break of the block. Like, just some moment. She needs something. My girl needs some love.
Can I ask you a question about a character we saw in this episode and how people are feeling about him?
Sure.
So I have kind of been, not pitching for the season, but I think we can all agree Padden Fane is an underutilized character in the show.
100%.
So true.
Yeah. Like little flits in and out in season 1 and season 2. We're just like, what are you doing? We need more. Johan Myers is playing him fucking brilliantly. I said much earlier on in the podcast, in my podcast freewheeling, that this season is do or die for Padden Fane. Use him or lose him. Like, this in and out is not. It's not good. It's not working.
Yeah.
And I was like, you need to get him in properly and use him. And that's kind of like with that feeling and my thoughts around the scene with him and Loyal in 108, where he stabs him and such, and that I still think that's a dream sequence. It's kind of those two things led me to him having like a Slayer connection and powers. All right. And the reason I think, I'll get the short version. The reason I think that scene with him and Perrin in 108 is a dream sequence is because Perrin runs out into the corridor. Nothing happens in that corridor except a bat flying around. Now, we see a bat in Wheel of Time on 2 occasions. One, Perrin in the corridor. Mm-hmm. The other time is like episode 3 or something stupid like that, 2, where Rand throws up a bat in his dreams.
Right, yep, agreed.
Those are the only 2 occasions we see a bat. Okay, and it feels very deliberate to make him run out into an empty corridor, see a bat, and run back in. And so I think it was like a small setup for Slayer powers. That's kind of like how it's going. And now he's going to be Perrin's nemesis. What did you think of what they did with Padden Fane? Have they used him or do they need to lose him? I would like to know your opinion, you two.
I still don't think they've used him enough.
Agreed. I thought him in season 1. And so I agree. I think the same thing for Valda. Like, he died, and I'm fine that he got burnt. He's a horrible human being as a character, but like, he didn't do anything that was scary in season 2. Like, season 1, Valda was scary. Season 1, Padden Fane was creepy as hell. And then season 2 was like, where'd everybody go? And so I think that's a great idea. I think that this little deal he makes with Perrin is going to take him to Shia Ghul, and he's going to get spanked. And then he is going to have like the, sort of that, like, I'm trying to peel away from the Dark One. The Dark One's mad at me. I'm going to start this like rivalry with Perrin, and it's going to be like a showdown. Like, that's going to be his nemesis.
Yeah.
I don't think Dana's going to be his nemesis anymore.
No.
I think they're going to like bond at the camp or the White Cloak headquarters, and they're going to be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this, for me, it's kind of not 50-50, but like, I don't think they've used him enough. Well, almost haven't used him enough. I think they did enough in this episode for me to be like, you've set him up enough that you can stick him around, keep him around, and make him Perrin's nemesis for the series.
Or get rid of him.
As opposed to Matt's nemesis long term.
Yeah, I don't think that makes sense anymore.
I think that it makes sense now to leave him as Perrin's nemesis, give Matt something else to work on, someone else to be, the Golem can be Matt's situation. Like bring Golem in next season, that can be Matt's thing for the rest of the series. And Rand obviously has his own thing. Egwene and Nynaeve, they have their own things they're going for, like Moggy and Egwene and Rand, obviously just overarching stuff. It's just enough for me to be like, I wish you'd used
give
more.
Him more. Yeah.
I'd wished we'd had something extra, but you've done enough that I'm okay with where we are, if that makes sense.
I would love for the last minute of this season to be him at Shire Goal. Like on his knees,
getting
all the way down.
Virgil.
Not spanked, but when the Forsaken go to Shire Goal and they get all the way on the floor, like their faces are on the floor, like bending down. Like
yes.
I would love to see that for him, and then we know, like, because they could just do exactly what they did in season 1, and he just disappears now for like 8 episodes or whatever, like, which I think would be a mistake because he's amazing. The actor's amazing.
He is. Johann's amazing. Yeah. So I think the Luke character was a red herring, and this is where we are. I don't think he's a Forsaken. I think. But in terms of like who he's working for, he's either working directly for the Dark One or he's working for Ishii in some shape or form.
I love that he was just this random dude that was just kind of angry at the world, and he wasn't really. He was like not. He said he was following people, but he really wasn't. He was just creating evil chaos everywhere.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that. Like I like that as a character. Like he's not serving really anybody.
The unpredictable element is it's good fun.
He'll just show up and like this season, show up and like infiltrate the White Cloaks, and all of a sudden they're like following him. They're like, how'd that happen? Because he's like crazy. He's wily.
He is, yeah. So
I don't know. I like it.
Ooh. Yeah. Anything else we want to add?
Oh man.
I mean,
what a great season so far, guys.
Yeah.
We're so lucky.
We are extremely lucky.
We're just so lucky.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
guess, yeah. We have one more to go.
One more to go. Is it time to play us out?
Play us out.
Okay. Ladies and gents, thanks for hanging around and watching. Hope you've enjoyed. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, add to those numbers that are now 2,000 and something 12s or whatever. Share with your friends and tell them how stabby we are. We're here every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern, with the exception of, special holidays and, Jordan Connor weeks and, things like that, because, travel and chaos. But yes, come and join us every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. I will be back on this, talking this episode on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern. You can join me here. And Freewheeling will be talking about this episode on Saturday as well. If you want to listen live, be a patron. Alternatively, that'll be out next Wednesday as a nice refresher before the finale episode comes out. And if you haven't checked out our episode that came out yesterday about last week's episode, we came out with a really, really beautiful theory that we kind of like built together about super full length arc for Rand.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Cool.
That was I was like, oh. So but yeah, come hang out Saturday where we talk about this all again. But if that's not your shtick and you just want to be here for the stabbing, we'll see you next Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. So
everyone loves a good stabbing.
Some people just want the stabbing, and that's
or spearing.
Okay. Or spearing, stabbing, spearing.
We don't spear shame or stab shame.
Absolutely, just here at Threefold Talk, we accept all forms of penetration.
That's so true.
But yeah. That's it. So, as we like to say around here, folks, may you always find love, water, and shade. Bye.
Close the gate. We walk the footsteps of our fathers, trail blessed by our mothers. They bought the land with their blood long ago. Long ago. Oh, sing on Melindhra. Oh, weep for the Raven. Oh, cry for Melindhra. Long ago. Long ago.